Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ahlan wa sahlan, guys. My name is Liaquat, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful week. And I hope you guys have been missing me and missing these videos as well. Hit the like button, subscribe button, and leave a comment in the comments below. So, first of all, let's understand and try to make sense of the words that are used over here. Okay, so you have in kana qala. Remember, this is Mukhtasar al-Qudoori, by the way, guys. Mukhtasar al-Qudoori is a series to help you guys understand Hanafi fiqh. In kana qala alayya, so this is alayya. Okay, alayya, right? Annama razaqa yarzuqu is to give, to sustain. The word Allah, you know that. Nisfani is two halves, half times two. Fadil mudaribi athani athuluth, thuluth is a third. وما بقي من رب المال, you know what رب المال is, investor. مضارب is the entrepreneur. نصفان على ما رزق الله فلي نصفه فدفع المال إلى آخره مضاربة بالنصف. فالمضارب الثاني نصف الربح ولرب المال نصف ولا شيء, there's nothing at all. المضارب الأول. Okay, so فإن شرط is to stipulate. ربح is profit. Alright, so you guys know that as well. And then, you know, thuluthai is 2/3. I used to find fractions hard when I first started learning Arabic. Let me know if you guys find it hard. فلرب المال نصفه الربح. Okay, يضمن is to compensate. سدس is a sixth. من مال إذا مات رب المال. بطلت is to become void. ارتد is to leave the fold of Islam, apostate. And Islami dar al-harb, you know what that is. عزل, it means to be deposed. رب المال, okay, ishtara, to buy. Tasarruf is to deal, invest. Azal, you know what that is. Okay, so I think the rest of this straightforward. Oh yeah, we have nadhat here. Nadha means to be transformed. So قد نضت فليس أن يتصرف, to deal. Alright, so let's have a go at the terkeeb now. Alright, so terkeeb time. In kana qala alayya, so in kana is fil naqis, qala alayya is the mubtada khabar muqaddam. Ala alayya, qala alayya. Oh, sorry, not alayya, my mistake. Ala annama razaqaka Allahu baynana nisfan. Right, so then this is going to be khabar muqaddam. Right, so ma is mawsul, razaqa is fail, the word Allah is fa'il, and baynana and nisfan is going to be the mubtada muakhar. فلل مضارب الأول الثاني الثلث is going to be the mubtada muakhar, and then المضارب is going to be the khabar muqaddam. وما بقي بين رب المال والمضارب الأول. So ما بقي is going to be موصول صلة مبتدا, and بين رب المال, all that is مضاف إليه, it's going to become the خبر ظرف. فإن قال له على أن ما رزق الله فلي نصفه, خبر مقدم مبتدا مؤخر. دفع المال مفعول به إلى آخر. Why do you think it's آخر? Put it in the comments. مضاربة. Okay, so مضاربة, it means تمييز. بالنصف فللمضارب الثاني نصف الربح ولرب المال النصف ولا شيء, لا نفي الجنس, للمضارب الأول. I know this تركيب, I'm sure you guys sitting there saying, I know this, ما شاء الله. فإن شرط, yeah, am I right? فإن شرط للمضارب الثاني ثلثي, so ثلثي مضاف إليه, and فلرب المال نصف الربح وللمضارب الثاني نصف الربح ويضمن المضارب الأول المضارب الثاني. سدس, second مفعول به, من ماله. وإذا مات رب المال فاعل of مات, أو المضارب عطف, بطلت المضاربة في الفاعل. وإن ارتد والعياذ بالله رب المال is the فاعل عن الإسلام ولحق بدار الحرب بطلت المضاربة في الفاعل. وإذا عزل رب المال المضاربة مفعول به ولم يعلم أصلي حتى اشترى وباع فتصرفه جائز خبر. وإن علم بعزله والمال حال مبتدأ عروض خبر فله أن يبيعها يبيعها ولا يمنعه العزل فاعل في الفاعل من ذلك ثم لا يجوز أن يشتري بثمنها شيئا آخر again why is this آخر وإن عزله ورأس المال دراهم this is غير منصرف أو دنانير غير منصرف قد نضت فليس له أن يتصرف فيها. Okay, straightforward. Let me know if you guys benefit from this tarkib or not. Let's see how many people reply to this. If they benefit, or is it just something that takes time? Alright, so now here are a few scenarios that he's going to come out with, okay? So imagine, remember last week we're talking about a Rabbul Mal. He makes a deal with a Mudarib. Right, so makes a deal with the Mudarib. Let me try to put this in a bit more easier to understand situation. Okay, so let's get rid of this. I want it all to come together. It's all linked, that's why. Alright, so let's say for example this is the Rabb al-Mal. And the Rabb al-Mal has basically told a Mudarib, al-Mudarib, let's call him M. Mudarib number 1. Alright. He's told the Rabb al-Mal, he said to him basically, على أن ما رزقك الله, whatever Allah gives you, right? Allah gives you. Yeah, we are going to split it half and half. 50-50. Okay, so half and half, whatever Allah gives you. And that's a key word that is, okay? Allah gives you. So what happens over here? So what this guy's basically done is he's gone and he's got himself a Mudarib. Alright, so we're going to call this guy the Mudarib Thani, second Mudarib. And so if you remember what the deal was in the past, right? The deal in the past was that this guy's going to get third. So the Mudarib one had told the Mudarib Thani that you are going to get a third and I'm going to get 2/3. Okay, so you're going to get a third, I'm going to get 2/3. That was the original deal. So let's see if you guys can work this out. So he says, وَإِنْ كَانَ قَالَ عَلَى أَنَّ مَا رَزَقَكَ اللَّهِ. So if he says to him, whatever Allah gives you, it's going to be split half and half between Nisbayn and Nisfan. In that case, if the deal had already been made prior with the Mudarib Thani, that he was going to get a third. So what happens here? Any money that is made from this, first of all, this guy's going to get the third of it. Right? How's it going to work? So let's have a look. فَلِلْمُضَارِبْ الثَّانِي, the second guy, he's going to get a third. وَمَا بَقِيَ, and whatever is left is going to be split between the Rabbul Mal and the Mudarib Awwal, Nisfan, half and half. Does that make sense? So let's look at some figures over here. Let's say, for instance, let's say it's 12,000. Right, so let's say the Mudarib Thani actually makes 12,000. Remember, so he's going to get a third of this, yeah? So from there, this guy's going to get 1/3. So he's going to get 4,000. How much is left? 6,000, isn't it? The remainder 6,000 is going to be split between them. My mistake. So this is 8,000 then, changes. 8,000. He gets 4,000. And he gets 4,000. That makes sense now. I know some of you guys quickly wrote those comments saying, that's wrong. Alright, so apologies. So 4,000, and he gets 4,000. He gets 4,000, why? Because that's a third of a 12. And both of them get 4,000 because each of them get half of what is remainder. Does that make sense? Okay, so this is the first scenario. This is. Now what if he says to him, فَإِنْ قَالَ لَهُ عَلَى أَنَّ مَا رَزَقَهُ اللَّهُ. All right, so this is one scenario. Let's, okay, I got an idea. Let's try to make this a bit more smaller so that we can fit all this nicely in. All right, so this is scenario number 1. Okay, so now scenario number 2 now. All right, so the Rabbul Mal, he says, oh, actually, you know what we do? I think I have an idea. Let's do over here. So this is now the next scenario. So he's said to him, this is the Mudarib Awwal, and this is the Mudarib Thani, so the second Mudarib. Okay, so let's say, for example, the Rabbul Mal says, okay, Ala annama razaq Allah, whatever Allah gives, he didn't say you, whatever Allah gives, yeah, then I'm going to get half for me. So the total of whatever Allah gives, meaning the total sum. So now, if let's say he gets 12,000, whatever Allah gives, I'm getting half of that. So because he had already made an agreement with this guy that he's getting a third, yeah, he's getting a third and he's going to get half. So first of all, let's give half to him. So what's half of 12,000? That's 6,000. Yeah, half of is going to get 6. And for this guy, he said how much he's going to get? A third. So what's a third of that? So a third of that would be okay, actually let's change this one figure. Let's change this figure to it's not half. We're going to make it into half of it, not a third, half. So he's made a deal with him that he's going to get half, and he's already said, I'm going to get half of the total amount. Yeah? So now we're going to give half of 12,000 is 6,000. 6,000 he's going to get. 6,000 he's going to get. And for him, what's left? 0. Nothing left for Mudarib. Because that was the deal that they made, isn't it? So that's why you got to be very careful with the kind of wording you use in the contract. فَإِنْ قَالَ لَهُ, if this guy was to say, Ala, we're going to do the Mudarabah, Ala annama razaq Allah, whatever Allah gives, not gives you, whatever Allah gives in total. Yeah. فَلِي نِصْفُهُ, I get half of it. فَدَفَعَ الْمَالَ إِلَى آخَرَ, he's handed the mal to another person, Mudarib Thani. Mudarabatan bin nisf, by way of half. So فَلِلْمُضَارِبْ الثَّانِي, so the second Mudarib is going to get نِصْفُ الرِّبْحِ, so he gets half of it. وَلِرَبِّ الْمَالِ النِّصْفُ, and the Rabbul Mal gets how much? Half. And what does the other guy get? The other guy gets 0. لا شيء, nothing at all. لا شيء للمضارب الأول. Yeah. So this is scenario number 2 now. Okay, let's try to make scenario number 3. Let's see if we can see where we can fit this in. I don't think we can fit this in over here. Right, so I'm going to have to maybe make it over there. Are you guys getting the idea of it? It's quite straightforward, isn't it? Yeah, straightforward. So let's have a look at this. So okay, so this is the guy, this is the Rabbul Mal, this is the Mudarib Awwal, and this is Mudarib Thani. Okay, so what's happened? Let's say, for example, he's said to him, you are going to get, actually no, wait, sabr. Let me put this all so it just all looks nice. I like making things look all nice. So let's, okay, I'm going to be doing loads of editing later. Alright, so let's say, for example, he's done this, okay? He has basically said, so this is another scenario now, okay? So same guy, but in this case now, he's actually said to the guy, so let's say he's got another Mudarib, this is the Mudarib Thani, another Mudarib Thani, and he's made a deal with him that he's going to give him 2/3. He said, I'm going to give you 2/3 of the profits. And remember, the other deal was half the Rabbul Mal's going to get. Now, obviously, you're already thinking fractions. Wait a minute, that doesn't add up. So you're going to see what's going to happen now. So let's say, for example, he does make, out of all this, he makes 12,000. All right. So 2/3 of that is going to him. Right. He's getting 2/3, and 2/3 of 12,000 is 8,000. And then from that, this guy's going to get the half of that. So what's half of that? 6,000, but that doesn't add up, because if you notice, 8 plus 6 yeah, equals how much? It equals 14,000. Yeah? So what happens here? That equals 14k, which is problematic. So what this mudarib has to do, what this guy has to do over here, he has to now produce, that extra, he's got to put in from his own pocket 2,000 extra, because that's the deal that he made. Yeah? So that's from his own pocket now. This is why you've got to be very careful when you are making these sorts of deals. Right? Be very careful how you word them, etc., because you could lose out at the end of the day. فَإِنْ شَرَطَ لِلْمُضَارِبِ الثَّانِي, if he makes a condition for the second mudarib that you're going to get 2/3, ثُلُثَيْ الرِّبْحِ فَلِرَبِّ الْمَالِ نِصْفُ الرِّبْحِ. So previously we knew that Rabbul Mal is going to get half anyway, so he is going to get 6,000. وَالْمُضَارِبِ الثَّانِي نِصْفُ الرِّبْحِ, and the mudarib al-thani is going to get half the rib, meaning what he's saying half means is that because there's only half left, isn't there? Yeah, so really 6,000 is left, but then he topped it up, yeah, to make it 8,000. Does that make sense? So I just made it easier for you to understand. So وَيَضْمَنُ الْمُضَارِبَ الْأَوَّلِ, so the first mudarib, this guy, he has to compensate for the second mudarib سُدُسَ الرِّبْحِ, so a sixth, because that's the remainder, isn't it? The sixth, because it's fractions. Basically, if you have, just to make it easy to understand, if you have half and then you have 2/3, yeah, half plus 2/3 equals a whole and a sixth. That's what it is. Right, so which equals 1 and 1/6. So he's got to compensate that 1/6 from his own pocket. That's unfortunate, that is very sad, but he should have worked it out beforehand. Min malihi. Does that make sense? Okay, khalas. I think you guys have understood that. So have a watch of the video again, and inshallah it should make more sense now. Okay, next. What if the Rabbul Mal or the Mudarib dies? Right, so if the Rabbul Mal or the Mudarib, one of the two, Rabbul Mal or the Mudarib, were to die, say RIP, him or him, yeah, then the whole deal is technically over. So إذا مات رب المال dies, أو المضارب, or the mudarib dies, then بطلت المضاربة, mudarabah ends because there's no real parties here now to deal with it. Okay, what if the mudarib or the Rabbul Mal, let's say the Rabbul Mal, he leaves the fold of Islam and he goes to Dar al-Harb. Remember we kept saying this before. Leaving the fold of Islam, so this is scenario number 1, scenario number 2, he leaves Islam, so murtad, and he goes to Dar al-Harb. Yeah, so if he ever does that, what's going to happen in this case? So he says, إِذَا ارْتَدَّ رَبُّ الْمَالِ, if the Rabbul Mal leaves the fold of Islam, وَلَحِقَ بِدَارِ الْحَرْبِ, and then he joins Dar al-Harb, وَالْعِيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ, may Allah protect us, بَطَلَتْ الْمُضَارَبَةُ, the mudarabah will become void as well. So there's two ways that the mudarabah can become void like that: death and irtidad وَاللُّحُوقِ بِدَارِ الْحَرْبِ. Alright, next. Okay. What if the mudarib, the Rabbul Mal, he kind of deposes him, he kind of sacks him. Right, says to him, you're no longer working for me. So this is the Rabbul Mal, this is the mudarib, and the Rabbul Mal says, you are sacked, you are fired. For those of you guys who don't know what sacked is. Right, so you are fired. So this is called azal. Right, azal, you are fired. Now, either there's two scenarios in this. Either he knows that he's fired. If he knows he's fired, then obviously it's over. If he doesn't know, yeah, so he does not know that he's fired. No one's told him yet. So let's say, for example, on Monday he was fired, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday he finds out. Right? Friday he learns about, he knows. What about all these days he's been buying things, selling things possibly? Right? All these days, what's going to happen in this case? So he says, إِذَا عَزَلَ رَبُّ الْمَالِ, when the Rabbul Mal, he sacks, fires the mudarib, وَلَمْ يَعْلَمْ بِعَزْلِهِ, and he is not aware of his azal, حَتَّى اشْتَرَى, so much so that this mudarib, within this week, he is going to buy stuff. and sell stuff, right? So selling, buying. Okay, what's going to happen in this case? He goes, وَبَاعَ فَتَصَرُّفُ جَائِز. Anything he's done over here is jais. We're going to say it's okay because he didn't know, and you can't really blame a person if they don't know. Now, however, in alima, if he became aware, in alima bi'azlihi wal malu urud. So if he knows about it, then there's two scenarios that come out of this. Okay, so if he knows, let's move it over here. Yeah, so if he knows, then either the goods are in money form or they're in the form of non-currency. Non-currency. It's supposed to be currency there, okay? I do apologize. So either in money form or in non-currency form. So he says, if it's in the form of non-currency, فَلَهُ, he has the right أن يبيعها, to sell it off. وَلَا يَمْنَعُهُ الْعَزَلْ مِنْ ذَلِكَ, and the azal will not prevent that. So if he's bought some cars or some laptops, he can go and sell them off to get the cash. And then after that, لا يجوز أن يشتري بثمنها شيئا آخر. He's not allowed to go and buy anything else after that. Once he sold it off and got cash, he can't go and further invest it anymore. And obviously if it's in the form of cash, then he can't do anything, right? So here he's allowed to go and sell to get cash, and here not allowed. All right. And finally, the last masala, he says, وَإِنْ عَزَلَهُ وَرَأْسُ الْمَالِ دَرَاهِمْ وَالدَّنَانِيرِ, if he sacks him and the cash is in the form of money, قَدْ نَضَّت means it's been transformed into cash, like it's in the form of cash, نَضَّت. فَلَيْسَ لَهُ أَنْ يَتَصَرَّفَ, then it's not permissible for him to deal with it. خلاص. So let's do khulasa that. So if he's a mudarib, he either knows he's been sacked or he doesn't know. If he doesn't know, then all the dealings he does prior to knowledge, he won't be held accountable for that. But if he knows, then either the goods are in the form of non-currency, then he's allowed to sell them to get cash, or if he knows and it's in the form of cash already, then he can't further invest it anymore. MashaAllah. Okay, so let's have a look at this. Now let me know if you guys like me putting questions up, right? Because I'm going to try to put questions in the comments below. You can have a go at those exercises in the comments below. But I'll just give you some questions here. Okay, so first question. If a Rabbul Mal has told the Mudarib that he's allowed to make another Mudarib, and he says it's going to be whatever you make, 50-50, whatever you get, 50-50 is ours. How does it work then? Answer is that first of all, you give the Mudarib Thani his share, and then whatever's left, split it 50-50, because he said whatever you get, right? So in this case, he said 12,000, he gets 4,000 because that's a third, and then 8,000 this guy gets, and he splits it. Okay, what if he says whatever Allah gives, and doesn't say you? And that's going to be from the total now, not what the Mudarib awwal gets. So the second Mudarib, if the deal was half, he gets a half, and then the other half goes to the Rabbul Mal, and this guy gets nothing at all, right? Like you say, he gets jack. And if, however, the deal was that I'm going to get half, and the Mudarib awwal made a deal with the Mudarib Thani that he was going to get 2/3. Now 2/3 plus a half is 1 1/6. So you split it between the two, and then you've got to give 1/6. The Mudarib awwal has to give 1/6 from his own pocket, right? So if it was 12,000, 6,000, 6,000, and then 2,000 extra has got to come from the pocket of the Mudarib awwal. Very good. MashaAllah, you guys getting it? Okay, so what if the Rabbul Mal dies? What happens? Contract over. What if the Mudarib dies? Contract over. Excellent. What if the Rabbul Mal leaves Islam and goes to Dar al-Harb? Then the judges will nullify that contract. Contract's over. Excellent. Okay, what if the Rabbul Mal, he deposts the Mudarib? What's going to happen? So either he knows or he doesn't know. So what's going to happen if he doesn't know that he's been... So all of the dealings that he does prior to knowledge, he won't be held accountable for that. What if he knows? So then either the goods are in the form of non-currency or the goods are in the form of currency. What if they're in the form of non-currency? Then he's allowed to sell them to get the cash, and then can't do anything else with that. And what if it's in the form of currency? Then he can't do anything at all. Khalas, mashallah. So anyway, guys, Jazakumullah khair. Thank you very much for watching this video. I really appreciate you guys supporting my channel. Patrons, wonderful, beautiful people you guys are for supporting the work that I do. If anyone out there of you guys likes the work that I do and thinks that you can support my channel, or you know other people out there who would like to do something like this and get sadaqah jariyah, then please reach out. There's details in the description below. You can become a monthly supporter of the channel. Any amount that you give, you can sponsor my channel, or you can just give a one-off donation through PayPal, inshallah. All is appreciated, guys. It means a lot to me because this work, I put a lot of effort into this work, and I really want you guys to benefit from the work that I do, and I don't want it to stop. So thank you very much, guys. Take care. I'll see you guys next time. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.